Hello everyone, I'm Alpha. This is Made Simple Results. Today's lecture will be based on cost classification and behavior, how costs can be classified into different aspects, either by their element, nature, or function, and also their behavior. So let's start. First of all, the role of management accountant in the aspect of cost classification is to calculate whatever the company or the organization produce. So cost classification, it involves separating a group of expenses into what? Different categories. So are we good? Into different categories. So now, based on what? Their specific characteristics. So we can classify cost based on different characteristics, either by their elements, their nature, which is elements, their function, their behavior. So we move on to direct materials. Material cost refers to the cost of commodities supplied to an undertaking. So the material cost, we talk about the raw material that you use to produce. We talk about the finishing material. And also we move on to labor cost. Involve the salary or the wages or the commission paid to employees. And also we talk about expenses. Expenses represents the cost of services provided to an undertaking. These expenses are rent, telephone, and depreciation. There are so many expenses. So we only take note of this few. And also, let me say we want to produce watch. We are producing watch. And also, we want to know the cost per unit. The cost per unit. So now, the cost of each watch, let me say one watch is 20 lux. Are we good? So now, let me say produce. Let me say cost per unit, right? We okay? So we want to produce watch, right? So the cost per unit, we want to produce just one watch. Just one watch. So if we are producing 20, or let me say 20,000 of watch that you are producing, you want to know the cost of each watch. So you take a sample of the one watch, which is one watch multiplied against what? The times of production that you produce is how many? 20,000. So this gives us the total cost. So but the cost per unit is what? One watch. We are producing one watch. So we move on to a pencil. We want to produce pencil. We are producing pencil. So we want to know the cost per unit for pencil. But mind you that pencil is been packaged as a one packet, right? We are not going to, take into consideration of the one pencil. No, we are dealing with what? A packet of pencil. So the one packet is what? Is a cost per unit. Are we good? So it differs from the watch, because the watch, they are not going to packet it. The watch is being segregated. Each one watch means one cost per unit times the total. Are we good? So now let's go further. So the cost classification by variability or behavior. How costs can be classified either by their variability or their behavior. Cost behavior refers to how costs change in response to business activity. So move on to behavior. How cost is being behaved, whether it's move upwards, what its behavior. So we first of all we talk about variable cost. So variable cost, these are costs that change despite what their level of what activity states. So fixed costs, these are costs that what remain constant regardless of what their activity level or their what level of activity. Are we good? So we are going to explain this on the next chapter. Semi-variable costs exhibit both what variables and fixed components. From the word semi, it means what? The combination of both what? Fixed and what? Variable cost. We also have the next one, which is step cost. But we are going to discuss it next chapter. Understanding cost classification helps business make informed decision and optimize profitability. So now, the cost is very, very important, especially in the aspect of optimizing profitability, because every company wants to optimize profitability. Because without profitability, it's a recipe for disaster. You cannot work without profitability. You need profitability. But how can you reach profitability? That's why cost classification kept. So we move on to the formats. Let's understand the format. So let's understand the format. So we are going to talk about the cost statement format, right? We are dealing with units. So we work with direct material. I have explained that. There are materials that we can easily be identified to a particular cost center or cost unit. So we talk about labor. These are all direct. They are direct cost. Let me say direct cost. Direct cost. So direct cost, we talk about material, labor, and expenses. So the combination of this direct cost give us what? Prime cost. Prime cost, right? Okay. So now, after our prime cost, we deals with production overheads, or we name it as all indirect cost. Co-production talks about all indirect cost. So indirect cost, we talk about factory rent. We talk about power. Talk about supervision. We also talk about depreciation. We also talk about our admin and distribution. talk about selling cost, say selling and distribution. So this all the combination of all this, give us what? Give us our total cost. Our total cost. So this is the pro forma of a cost statement. I hope we are okay, right? So now this is a pro forma. So now we want to analyze on this pro forma step by step, right? So now because we have analyzed about the diagram and the pro forma, it's already adjusted. But note that in the analysis of cost, we are going to involve in cost behavior. So cost behavior. So cost behavior. So different costs has different way they behave. Different costs have what? Different way they behave. That is what? Their behavior. So now we discuss about their variable, right? Their variable cost. So we explain that variable costs, these are costs that varies regardless with the level of activities, right? So from our previous example, we are producing watch, right? We want to know our variable cost. So this is our production because we are producing watch, and this is our loans. So the variable cost, it varies because the more you produce, the more you consume, the more it will increase, right? So these are what? Variable cost. It varies. So the line that moves is what? Is the total cost. Are we good? So now let's move on to the fixed cost. The fixed cost right? Fixed costs, these are costs that remain constant regardless what the level of activities. So we are producing watch, right? We are producing watch, and also the cost per unit for each one watch is how many? It's 20. It's 20 units, right? So now it doesn't change. We are producing what? Watch, and the cost per unit for each one watch is how many? It's 20 units. So this is fixed. It's what? It's fixed cost. This is what? This is a production. It's what? It's fixed. This is what? The total cost. It's fixed. It doesn't change regardless the level of activity, because we are producing how many? We are producing the cost of one watch is how many? It's 20 units. So it's fixed. So, but when it varies, because the more we produce, the more the watch will increase. It's move on to what? A variable cost. Are we good? Okay, now let's move on to step cost. Let's move on to step cost. So step cost. So we say step cost is a cost that vary. So these what? this is the production. It varies. So we are producing 20 units, right? Each one watch. So we have rent the factory. We are producing how many? 20 units. But we move on to, we are producing just one watch in the factory. But now we move on to, we say we want to produce more watch. So if we're going to produce more watch, it means it will increase the number of production. We are producing just one watch, which is 20. So now we want to produce just another 20 times the cost per unit. It will give us 400. Am I right? 20 times 20 is 400, right? So now this is 400. So now we are producing 400 watch. So the production level will change. So we move on to what? The second factory. Because what? The production level is being changed, and also the area, the expansion also change because we need new location. Are we okay? So we move on to semi-variable. Semi-variable, or it's a combination of both fixed and variable. So let's look at the example here. Let me say we rent a factory wherein we deal with electricity, and also we are producing watch. Are we okay? So now the semi means that it's a combination of both variables and fixed costs. So we are going to what? To power the machine. If we are going to power the machine, it varies because the level of activity has been changed. In those days, we are producing just one watch, which is 20 mils, but now we are moving on. We are producing what? We are producing 400 watch. So what? To power the machine, the level of fuel that we are going to use, it varies. That's why what? To power the machine, it's a variable cost. Are we okay? So now, to light the factory, so it's a fix because every working hour we need to what? To light up the machine. So it's a fixed cost. It doesn't change. So let's see the diagram. Let's understand it. So this is the production. This is lums. And also we are producing now how many? 400, right? So this is a fixed cost because now we are producing what? 400. So we put total cost. So now we move on to this what? This is the variable. This what? This is the variable cost. This is a fix. So are we good? Because the more we produce, the more what level of activity we are going to reach on. So let's move further. So note, analysis of cost into fixed and variable elements. A number of methods exist from analyzing semi-variable cost into what? Their fixed and variable elements. So we have discussed that on the previous chapter. So now the two main methods we are going to use is high and low, the least square regression. But before going further, let's analyze this one, please. So now the Y represents the total cost. The O represents the fixed cost. plus the B represents the variable cost. The X represents the output. That's why on the next video, we are going to solve barrage of questions on what? On high-low method. And also the least square regression. We are going to solve it. So now,